Thank you so much for joining us as we get into this study. We're still continuing Galatians chapter 2, verses 6 through 18, and we're going to get into the text right now. So remember, this is a continuation. Paul, he got saved. He went away for 3 years, and then he got to know who God truly was. I think he was going through the Old Testament, seeing Christ coming off the page with every study from the beginning on, seeing that the Messiah was truly Jesus of Nazareth. Then he met with Peter, James, John. He saw that his gospel was the same as their gospel. It was awesome. He goes away 14 years and he's come back and he's talking to them again because there's still this problem. People are still coming in saying Jesus specifically Jesus and circumcision is what's needed to be saved. Jesus and following the whole Mosaic law is what's needed to be saved. So he comes in with Titus, his Greek test case. Titus was not circumcised. They didn't say he needed to be. They all were in agreement. Chapter 2, verse 6 continues and says, "But from these who seem to be something, whatever they were, it makes no difference to me. God shows partial or personal favoritism to no man. For those who seem to be something added nothing to me." Be careful. It's easy for any of us to raise ourselves up beyond who we are. To say, I'm pretty special, look at me. I have this, or I have this ability, I have this knowledge, I have this money, this power, I am this color, I speak this language, I am this age, I have this beauty. And we say, I am someone special, which raises us up and puts the rest of the people down. Be careful. From the pastor in the pulpit to the person that's homeless. Be careful not to raise yourself up. We are all in this together. We are all a bunch of no good, dirty, rotten sinners saved by grace. And God wants to do an awesome work, yes, but it's not us. So Paul's saying he went there, but they added nothing to me. In other words, his gospel was the same. He didn't have to change it. So it goes on to say in verse 7, "But on the contrary, when they saw that the gospel for the uncircumcised had been committed to me, as the gospel for the circumcised was to Peter, for he who worked effectively in Peter for the apostleship to the circumcised also worked effectively in me toward the Gentiles." So everyone's recognizing it. Gentiles are getting saved without circumcision. And the church leadership sees that Paul is the instrument that God is using. They see Paul as not special. They see God has chosen to use Paul, and God wants to do a mighty work. And he wants to do a mighty work through you and through me. He wants to choose us, to use us to affect the eternal destiny of people around us. I know there's people around your life that are not saved. Share with them what Christ has done in your life. I know there's people in your life that are saved that need to be encouraged. Encourage brothers, encourage sisters. So he worked effectively in me to the Gentiles. Verse 9, "But when James, Cephas," that's another name for Peter, "and John, who seemed to be pillars, perceived the grace that had been given to me, they gave me and Barnabas the right hand of fellowship, that we should go to the Gentiles and they to the circumcised. They desired that one thing, that we should remember the poor, the very thing which I also was eager to do." So remember, God, he's in our text here, God wants to choose to use Paul to touch people's lives, to share with them the gospel that Jesus is enough. You didn't need circumcision. You didn't need the law, because Christ did it all. What were the last words that Christ did on the cross? It is finished. One word, paid in full. The payment for your sins, the payment for my sins, it is finished. That's all we need. God wants to use a person like Paul, who was a no good, dirty, rotten sinner that actually went to murder Christians. He wanted to use him, and he wants to use you and I as well for awesome things. Things that you and I couldn't do on our own. Miraculous things he wants to do through you, even today. Check it out. Pray about it. God, what do you want it to do in me today? And we're continuing. Stay with us next time. We have a big controversy that goes on. There's a fight. So check out tomorrow's study. I sure love you guys.